Hi guys, and welcome to my Christmas DVD and Blu-ray update. And as you may have noticed, the quality of this video is much better than normal because I've gotten a new camera. I'm not sure how good the microphone or even the quality of the camera is. I just when I asked for the camera, I just looked online for cameras that weren't too expensive, but that looked good, and this one looked really good, and yeah, it was cheap, I guess. No, it wasn't like really cheap, but I mean it wasn't incredibly expensive. It was, I think, like entry level kind of, like, I think it was like £250 ish. I can't remember, but yeah, that's what I asked for, and yeah, the camera's actually you know what, the old camera that I use, which is this, which is not technically a video camera, is a just a picture camera, photo camera, and it's very crappy basically. But that had a really tiny lens. It must have, because yeah, I have to actually sit farther away from the tripod and everything than before to get this frame, and I can see on the wow, I can turn it around. That's amazing. I can see from the viewfinder there that yeah, the frame's actually small. It goes from here down to here, whereas before it was much further back. It'd be like right about here. Yeah. So every Christmas, it's been a tradition for years now. I've gone through all the Blu-rays and DVDs. Well, normally it was DVDs. This year it's all Blu-rays, luckily. I distinctly asked my parents Blu-rays only instead of DVDs, because last year I got 3 Blu-rays and the rest were DVDs. This year I've got a lot of DVDs, and I've got Blu-rays, and I've got more films this year than I had last year, mainly because the guitar I had was expensive, and yeah, I got a guitar last year and it was expensive basically. And yeah, first I'll show off my hoodie. It's a Blink-182 thing. I got this year. I also got a shirt, a Blink-182 shirt, but so I think you can tell I'm a fan of the band. But yeah, I'm just going to be talking about all the films I got today. There's 7 Blu-rays, I believe, and then 1 Blu-ray box set which has 8 films in it. And yeah, I noticed this camera actually has it actually focuses on your face when you move it around. It's got like a little box around my face. Oh my god, I just confused it. But yeah, I pretty much got everything I asked for this year. There was one film which was Guardians of the Galaxy, which I didn't get, mainly because I think they finished buying everything by the time that had come out. But yeah, I will buy it eventually. I really love that film and I have to own it anyway, so yeah, I will get it, just I don't have it right now, and it'll probably be a while before I do get it. So yeah, it's really messing me up, because looking at the viewfinder I'm focusing on that, and it's weird how yeah, that hand, which for me is on the right, is on the left on the camera. It's confusing, but yeah, I'm just gonna go in order. It's no particular order. It's not in that order of when I opened the present or whatever. It's just a random order. So yeah, and also there's no time limit now, so I won't cut out 9 minutes in and go, sorry, the camera cut out, which for me, editing got really annoying. So first up, a lot of these films I haven't seen. Some of them I have, but this one in particular I haven't seen. It was my most anticipated film of the year, but I never saw it in the cinema because by the time it came out I had no money. By the time I got money, I think I saw Guardians of the Galaxy instead. But I'm talking about Godzilla. This is of course the 2014 one, and yes, before you ask, it will be on Godzilla Mondays, which I don't know when it's coming out now, because yeah, my computer broke. I fixed it. I actually managed to get it fixed for like 2 days, and then it did the exact same thing I was doing before, so I'm gonna get a new one by the end of January. So yeah, the Godzilla Mondays will be later than I expected, basically, and I'll have to remake the intro and everything, probably have to rewrite the review I did for the original. I even was about to edit that by the time it crashed. But yeah, this is the 2014 one starring oh god, I can't remember his name now. It doesn't actually say. The person from Kick-Ass, Aaron Taylor Johnson, is it? I'm pretty sure it's Aaron something. But yeah, and Bryan Cranston is also in it. I'm pretty sure Elizabeth Olsen or someone like one of the Olsen twins, I think's in it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a picture of her on the back. But yeah, I was really looking forward to this film. The trailers all looked really good, and the fact that Bryan Cranston was in it was just a massive plus for me because I am a massive fan of Breaking Bad. So yeah, it's really cool to see him be in more films, and yeah, he's a fantastic actor anyway. I also loved him in Malcolm in the Middle, so yeah. And Aaron Taylor Johnson, if that is his name, I'm pretty sure it is actually. I loved Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass, one of my all-time favourite movies. Sequel, yeah, I could take it or leave it. But yeah, I really like him. He was also in the John Lennon biopic, Nowhere Boy, and he was fantastic in that. So I'm a big fan of him as well. So yeah, I was just looking forward to seeing this film. I heard a lot of complaints about how the Godzilla monster was only in it for like 15 minutes towards the end, but I think that kind of fits the original movie. If you've ever seen the original 1950s Gojira, I think it's 54. Yeah, it would be because it's the 60th anniversary. 60th, I can't remember. I think it's 60th. I'm bad with maths, as you can probably tell by the fact I can't work out what. Yeah, it would be 60th. Yeah, the anniversary was this year of the original movie. That's why this movie came out. But yeah, the original one barely had Godzilla in the entire movie, so I think it made sense for this one to not have him in that much, or him, her, whatever. I think it's a her, didn't Godzilla have a child in one of the films? I don't know. But yeah, really looking forward to seeing this one. I've heard a few people say it's really good, heard a few people say it's rubbish. One of my friends recently said it was one of the best films he'd ever seen, but again, I've heard a lot of people say it's really bad, so I'll just go into it expecting it to be enjoyable, and maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't. I probably will, because I like this sort of film, and yeah, I like the fact that Godzilla's barely in it, because it gives you time to like the characters and really learn about the backstory and stuff, so I'm looking forward to watching that, definitely. Next up is a film that I didn't expect to get, actually. It was like the one film on the list where I was just like, yeah, this is quite a short list, I'll just put this on, maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't, if I don't I'll buy it somewhere. I almost got it in the shop recently for like a £5, so it was quite cheap, because it's a film from last year. It wasn't a huge film when it came out, but it was my favourite film of 2013 and should have got at least an Oscar nomination. But yeah, it is Prisoners, starring Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. This is a fantastic movie. It's really haunting and tense, and just the acting is fantastic. Hugh Jackman is unbelievably good in this film. I can't believe he didn't get an Oscar nomination. It's one of his best performances in his entire career. Basically what the film is about is Hugh Jackman's daughter goes missing, as well as I think their neighbour's daughter also goes missing. So Jake Gyllenhaal is a police officer trying to track down the person who stole the daughter and save them, whereas Hugh Jackman basically finds out who he thinks it is and holds him hostage and starts torturing him, trying to get information as to where his child is. So yeah, it's a very, very dark film, very haunting. I'm actually really looking forward to watching it again, because it was just such a fantastic emotional movie that I just loved it. A lot of people said when the reviews came out that it's a film that they don't think they'll ever see again because it was just too depressing and dark, but I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to watching it again. It's such a great movie. It's really had a huge impact on me. So yeah, it's my favourite film of last year. Just a fantastic movie, basically. Okay, next up's a film I have seen. One of the best films this year, without a doubt. It's a film that really, really shocked me. I expected to hate this movie with a passion, but when it came out, I loved it. It was just so good. It's just so amazingly surprising and good. So it is the Lego Movie. The problem with this is there's a tear in the slipcover. I don't know how well you can see it. There's a tear that, yeah, you can see it. There's a tear in the slipcover. The Lego Movie, what else is there really to say? Everyone knows this film by now. The song Everything is Awesome has become a huge meme online. Basically the plot is this character called Emma, who's played by Chris Pratt, is basically people think he's actually this person who's gonna save the Lego world, but he actually isn't. He's just a normal guy who lives life very routinely and very boringly, and basically he ends up getting into this big quest with loads of like licensed characters, a lot of them from like DC. There's like Batman and Wonder Woman and stuff, but there's also oh yeah, Gandalf is also Warner Brothers. There's a lot of Warner Brothers characters basically, because they're the ones that they can license, because it's a Warner Brothers film. There's also other characters, a lot of like old Lego minifigures. Basically they're all teaming up to defeat the evil person whose name I can't remember, who's played by Will Ferrell. And yeah, it's just a really funny film. The animation is all CGI, and it's unbelievably good. I mean, you would not be able to tell the difference between CGI that they use in this film and normal Lego. It looks like a stop motion film, and I think they shot and rendered it in like 12 frames per second or something to make it have the jerky look of like a stop motion Lego film you'd expect to see online. So I love that aspect of the film. It's really good, really well written. It's just an incredibly smart comedy. It's one of the funniest films of the year, one of my favourite films of the year, and you get a free child ticket to Legoland, which is cool, despite the fact I don't know any children, so that's not helpful. Both my brothers, I think, are probably too old for that, and we're not going to Legoland anyway, so yeah. But the Lego Movie, really love that film. Next up, another film I saw this year, one of the best of the year, without a doubt. One of my favourite superhero movies ever. When I saw this, I was like, this is the best Marvel film I've ever seen. Then Guardians of the Galaxy came out a few months later, and that was better. But yeah, this and Iron Man are probably two of my other favourite Marvel films. I'm talking about Captain America Winter Soldier. I don't own any of the other Marvel films on Blu-ray. I don't even own the original Captain America, so I'll have to track that down sometime. I've been meaning to get the Marvel films on Blu-ray, but I might as well start with the newer ones because they'll go up in price. That's what happens with any film released by Disney. It seems like this was released by Disney, but Disney films seem to be the cheapest when they first come out. Then if you wait, then they get expensive, so it seems like the best thing to do is get them when they come out. I got Frozen for like £15 when it first came out. Now it's pretty much like £18-20 if you're lucky, basically. But yeah, really like this film. It's a fantastic sequel. I really like the original Captain America. I know a lot of people aren't too fond of it, but I always really liked it. It was one of the best Marvel movies in my opinion, and this film follows on from that basically. Doesn't have many things that follow over from the Avengers. It's not like Iron Man 3 where basically the events of Iron Man 3, the entire movie is basically set after the Avengers, and a lot of the plot of the movie is all about the Avengers, like Tony Stark having like psychological trauma from what happened in the Avengers. There's none of that in this film. The only things that carry over is, of course, Scarlett Johansson's character Black Widow and Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury. They both carry over. But yeah, the film's just really exciting. Has some fantastic action scenes. I mean, the opening action scene is one of the best action movie scenes I've ever seen in my life. I mean, seeing that in the cinema was amazing. It was jaw-dropping. But yeah, it has some really great action scenes. It's kind of funny at times as well, and I think the character development, the story, and everything about it is just fantastic. There's lots of plot holes and stuff like there is with most movies, but because I enjoyed the film so much, I kind of look over that. But yeah, I really like Captain America Winter Soldier. Next up's one that I knew I was getting. Basically, I saw, when it arrived, I saw the corner of the slipcover sticking out of the jiffy bag it came in. So I recently bought the box set of all the films leading up to this on the Black Friday sale. And yeah, because I knew I was going to be getting this, and if I didn't get this, I would have bought it myself because I like the series. They're not great, they're really not great, but I enjoy them, especially the first two, the prequel, one of the two prequels, and the one before this. It's a superhero movie, and there was one that just came out last year, focused on one of the superheroes in this group. I'm of course talking about X-Men Days of Future Past. Yeah, I really liked the first two. Loved First Class. That was like my favourite X-Men movie, and I really liked the Wolverine from last year. That was a really surprisingly good film. I didn't see why why lots of people didn't like that, especially the ending. Everyone complained about how bad the ending was, and I was like, I don't see, it's not that bad. It's not incredibly smart, there's lots of plot holes, but I mean, it's not terrible. But yeah, this is of course the follow-up to that. It's the first one we've actually gotten that's set in the original series in, like, I think about 6 or 7 years now, because 2006, 2007 wasn't, that was the last one. That was when Last Stand came out, I think. And that was the last time you actually got to see the original cast. Then of course there was like First Class, which kind of had the original characters, but it was set in like the 30s or 40s. Can't completely remember, but yeah, this is of course where it's based on the original story, Days of Future Past, but changed around a little bit. Basically, the cast of First Class, the characters from the past and cast of the original trilogy, have to work together to fight evil, basically. I don't know, I haven't seen the film. I haven't even read the comics or seen the animated series take on the story, but I'm really looking forward to this. I've heard nothing but good things about it. Everyone's saying it's the best X-Men film, so I'm really looking forward to it. Next up, we got a film that I really only got this because the trailer looked funny. I've heard very mixed things about it. A lot of people will either say it's really funny or but yeah, I was looking forward to seeing it. I thought it looked really good. I thought the trailers looked very funny. I've seen the trailers multiple times, and every time they made me laugh. I'm talking about Bad Neighbours, or Neighbours as it's called in the US. Basically, here in the UK, they changed the name to Bad Neighbours because there's a TV soap called Neighbours, which is Australian, but it's really big in the UK. So they had to change it to Bad Neighbours to stop the confusion. Although I think there was another film called Neighbours or Bad Neighbours, one of the two, from the US, from the 80s or 90s. I think it starred Randy Quaid or someone like that. But yeah, basically this plot is Zac Efron moves in next door to Seth Rogen, starts pissing him off. They have a war, I guess. I don't know, I thought it looked funny. I like Seth Rogen. I think Zac Efron can be a really good actor when he tries. That film 17 again is a big guilty pleasure of mine, as much as I hate to say it. I really enjoy that film. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it. Next up, we have the one Blu-ray on my list that I wanted more than any of the rest. And it was the one I was afraid I was going to get the least. Prisoners, I was like, yeah, if I don't get it, whatever. But this one, I really wanted to get it because I wanted to see it again. It's come on Netflix since then, but still, I want to own this film and watch it over and over again because it's such a fantastic film. Easily in my top 5 of the year. The best horror film of the year. Oculus. This film, when it first came out, not a lot of people saw it, basically. It was, critics said it was surprisingly good. But what really sold me on the film, what made me want to see it, I had never heard about it, but when Brad Jones, aka the Cinema Snob, posted a midnight screenings review saying it's really good and one of the best horror films he's seen in the last few years, that intrigued me. I thought, okay, I'll give it a watch sometime. So when I was looking around for films, I think around about October, I saw the film came out, and I watched it and I loved it. It's such a great film. Basically, the plot of the film is there's this mirror that when these two kids, one played by Karen Gillian, who was of course in Doctor Who, and another guy who I don't recognise from anything. Basically, this mirror that was there when they were kids, when they moved into this house, they got this mirror, and weird stuff started to happen, which involved their father basically going insane and torturing their mother and almost killing them. And years later, the boy gets out of the psychiatric asylum, and he's been made to believe that what happened is actually different, and they come up with real explanations for what could have happened. But the girl, played by Karen Gillian, is basically saying, no, this is what happened, and yeah, she didn't get psychiatric help. She still is massively set on the fact that this mirror is killing people. The mirror is setting out demons and ghosts and stuff and killing people, and there's a long history of people dying and owning the mirror. So yeah, a lot of the film is you go back and forth from the present and the past to see what actually happened, and you're never sure who's right. You're never sure whose side of the story is right and whose is wrong. And I think that's an incredibly smart route to go down. It is such a great movie, and it doesn't rely on gore, at least not much gore. There's a little bit, but barely any. Does not rely on jump scares. There's one, maybe two jump scares in the entire film. It relies on atmosphere, on tension, on you not knowing what's going on, and it's just such a fantastic, well-made horror film. Fantastic acting, really good writing and directing. It stands massively above all of the other horror films I've seen this year. I mean, I haven't seen any others, but like reading the reviews and everything, I can pretty much guess that I'm going to prefer this to like Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, which it's not surprising. I don't like that series that much, and things like Ouija and stuff like that, things that everyone hates. But yeah, I love this film. There's another horror film out this year called The Babadook, which came out recently, which yeah, I think sounds quite good. I want to watch that. A lot of people are basically saying the same good things about The Babadook as with this, that it's a psychological horror and that it doesn't rely on jump scares and stuff like that. It really relies on the atmosphere and stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's definite proof that horror is not dead, that people can make a good horror movie if they try and have original ideas. You know, people like James Wan are doing it really, really well. He's making really good horror movies. I haven't seen The Conjuring yet, but I've seen both the Insidious movies and loved them, and of course Saw. So yeah, Oculus, fantastic movie. Definitely check it out if you're a fan of weird psychological horrors, because this is definitely up your alley. Especially if you like more classic horror movies and not films that are like full of jump scares like Annabelle and shit like that. So yeah. And that's all of those Blu-rays, and finally we get to this big box set which my dad got on Black Friday sale. I think he bought it because he wanted to watch the films again, and he basically just decided, you know what, I'll get it. He'll give it to me for Christmas, and when he wants to borrow it, he can borrow it. So he did the same with Die Hard a couple of years ago, but he never borrowed them, so I don't expect him to borrow these, but maybe he will. It's a set that I've actually really wanted to get for a couple of years, but I almost got it last year actually, but I just kept putting it off. Last year it was really cheap during the January sales, and I almost got it. And then I didn't, and I kind of regretted it after that, because I really wanted to get the set and watch the movies, because I'd only seen one of the 8 movies, and since I've watched one more, so I borrowed it from Love Film, which is basically Netflix post, because they don't have that in the UK, they just have Netflix Instant. But yeah, I borrowed it from that. I liked the 2 films I saw, so I wanted to watch the rest. And it's a great set actually, surprisingly. Universal aren't great with their Blu-ray sets, but this is a really good one. But Universal aren't great with Blu-rays just because, I don't know what it is, just the way they package it, the way the menus and stuff is really confusing. But Yeah, I'm talking about the Universal Monsters set, which of course comes with 8 of the original Universal Monsters. Doesn't come with them all, but it comes with 8 of them, which is good. It comes with basically the most well-known ones. So it comes with Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Invisible Man, the Bride of Frankenstein, the Wolfman, Phantom of the Opera, and Creature from the Black Lagoon. And Creature from the Black Lagoon is actually in 3D. I think it comes with both 2D and 3D. I think that's just kind of a bonus thing where you can watch it in 3D if you want. But yeah, this is a really good box set actually. It's really, really well packaged. Comes with some art cards and a really in-depth booklet. And it comes with loads and loads of special features. It's got pretty much the ultimate treatment you'd want for all of these movies. I mean, Dracula comes with the Spanish version as well, which is something I didn't even know it had. I literally was looking through the special features because my computer's dead. I had nothing to do today while the camera was charging. So I was like, I started playing Alien Isolation, which I got on the Xbox 360, which is really good, by the way. I didn't get that far into it. I literally played for about 10 minutes, but I really liked what I played. So now I was looking through, and I saw I had the Spanish version, so I was like, ooh, that's cool. I've never actually seen the Spanish version. I skimmed through it, and I think it is remastered into HD. It doesn't look as good as the normal English version, but it looks good. Now I was watching one of the Dracula documentaries, but yeah, it's really in-depth documentaries on here, and the presentation of the movies look fantastic. I mean, better than they've ever looked, and probably ever will look. But maybe not actually, because they were shot on film, so film can do a lot. Film can look much better than Blu-ray can hold. So yeah, that's why I think a lot of films shot on film are going to last longer than films shot digitally, especially ones that are shot in 1080p directly for Blu-ray. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching the other films, but out of the films I've only seen Dracula and Frankenstein so far, and I enjoyed them. They're very slow, and they're not films that I sit down and really, really like get into and really love, but they're films that I can watch and tell why everyone loves them so much, tell why they're great horror movies. But I do enjoy them. I don't hate them, but I don't love them like everyone else does, basically. But yeah, I've only seen 2, so maybe I'll like the others. I think maybe I wasn't in the right frame of mind anyway at the time of watching them. I know when I was watching Frankenstein, my mind was back and forth between the movie and other stuff because I was rendering a video, so I was really thinking about that as well. So and Dracula, I was really tired because I was doing the 12-hour horror movie marathon that I never finished making. No, I finished making the video and never uploaded it. I don't think I finished editing either. But yeah, that's besides the point. Anyway, Universal Monsters set. Cannot wait to watch the movies all again. And I think that's everything. So now I can actually try and put these on my shelf because I'm running out of space. Right, hopefully the quality of this video is good. It looks okay from the viewfinder. I think there may be a bit of noise everywhere, but much better than the camera I was using before. And hopefully the microphone is good. And hopefully there is a microphone, because it would be quite annoying if I just recorded this entire video and you have to use an external microphone. But I don't think you do. So, yeah, I think that's really all I have to talk about for today. As I usually do, by probably mid to late January, I will do an update video again, basically saying what I've gotten with any money I've gotten for Christmas, because I've got some money already, quite a lot actually. I can already buy one of the things I plan to buy, which is expensive, but January sales are coming up, so hopefully that will go down in price anyway. So yeah, I'll just be looking for deals. I have a few things I really want to pick up. One of which is a TV show that I literally just finished 2 days ago, and I'm getting that without a doubt. I don't care what happens, I'm getting that set. But yeah, I'll see if I can get the others, and I'll show them in the next update, basically. And tomorrow, oh yeah, tomorrow I'm getting a Blu-ray set. At least hopefully it's Blu-ray, maybe it's DVD. Depends on if I even get the right thing at all. So yeah, so yeah, I guess that's all I have to talk about for today's Christmas update. Merry Christmas, everyone. And yeah, I've almost reached 800 subscribers now, so I want to apologize for the lack of videos, but because my computer died, it's basically put a massive pin in everything. I mean, the Hollywood Beatdown Christmas review, it doesn't look like that's going to be out, which is annoying because my computer was working yesterday and I edited the entire thing. Literally went from about 10 o'clock to about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Edited the entire thing, was really proud of it. It was very short, by the way. It was only like 15, like 16, 17 minutes. It was quite a short episode because I didn't have much to say about the film. But yeah, I was proud of it, and then couldn't render it, so maybe I'll get onto it. Maybe I'll manage to get it fixed. Probably not, sadly, but hey, I've got the script saved, so that's a plus, I guess. So I can always film it again for like the 4th time because I filmed it twice last year and once this year. But that's besides the point. So yeah, hopefully there'll be more of these like update videos. Like I did like earlier in the week, I did that review sort of thing where I watched a bunch of films in a day and talked about it. So yeah, hopefully I'll be doing more of them. Probably be going to watch some of the films I've got right now, so maybe I'll do one of those today. What time is it? It's almost 12 o'clock in the afternoon, so yeah, I can do that. So I guess that's all I have to talk about for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you next time for another video.